Hey everyone, Phil coming at you with a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion video, and today we're going to talk about the newly announced archetype that's coming out in Blazing Vortex, the upcoming OCG set. And as you can tell by the pack artwork here, it's a very special archetype played by a very special character that I know a lot of people in Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually love. It is Armed Dragons, one of the three signature archetypes of Chazz Princeton, or as you may know him in Japan as Manjome Thunder. Manjome Thunder is relevant because this new archetype is basically called Armed Dragon Thunder. So basically a reference to Manjome Thunder. And as you can see right here, there is a monster in the archetype doing the signature Chazz Princeton Manjome Thunder 110, 100,000 Manjome Thunder. And this, the flavor in this archetype already is amazing. So anybody who likes older archetypes, particularly if you're a Chazz Princeton fan, you're going to get a huge kick out of it. So we're going to go through every card that was announced, and we're also going to compare the new versions based on their old versions as well, so you can kind of see how the archetype has changed. Nothing in the new cards says you can't run the old cards. They are designed just as Armed Dragon. So yes, they also support Dark Armed Dragon and Hardened Armed Dragon as well, and I believe Metaphys Armed Dragon as well. I haven't seen anything that says except Dark Armed Dragon, except any of those ones yet. But without further ado, let's jump into it. If you do like this video, remember to let me know in the comments below. Consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you guys love Chazz as me, let me know how much you love Chazz and how excited you are for these cards. Let's jump into it, and hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. Starting things off with Armed Dragon Level 3, we have the original Armed Dragon Level 3, and we have the brand new Armed Dragon Thunder Level 3. Both of these are Level 3 with 1200 attack and 900 defense. The original Armed Dragon says during your standby phase, you can trade him in for an Armed Dragon Level 5. Armed Dragon Thunder Level 3's effect is you can only use its second and third effects hard once per turn. Its name is treated as Armed Dragon Level 3 while facing on the field or in the graveyard. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard to send this card from the field to the graveyard, and if you do, you can special summon one level 5 or lower Armed Dragon monster from your hand or deck. Its third effect is if it's sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon monster's effect, you can draw a card. Already we can see a much bigger improvement on Armed Dragon Level 3. You don't have to wait to your standby phase, and you are able to trade him in for any Level 5 or lower Armed Dragon monster. You can trade him in for the original Armed Dragon Level 5, or you can trade him in for the new one. Also, if you send to the graveyard for a Dragon monster's effect, you get to draw a card. So definitely can see some play with some nice other Dragon archetypes there. Absolutely great starter. Definitely playable as opposed to Armed Dragon Level 3, but definitely I love the new artwork as well. Definitely a lot more aggressive than the other guy. Next up, we have Armed Dragon Level 5 and Armed Dragon Thunder Level 5. Both of these are Level 5 Wind Dragons with 2400 attack and 1700 defense. Armed Dragon Level 5's effect is whereby you can send one monster card from your hand to the graveyard to destroy one face-up monster on your opponent's side of the field with an attack equal to or less than the attack of the discarded monster. During the end phase of the turn, this card destroys a monster as a result of battle. You can send him to the graveyard and trade him in for an Armed Dragon Level 7. Discarding a card to destroy something can trigger your Armed Dragon Level 3's effect and allow you to draw a card, essentially replacing itself, which already gives you merit to running the original Armed Dragon Level 3 in a deck that's running these Armed Dragons, as well as it also counts as Armed Dragon Level 3. Armed Dragon Thunder Level 5's effect is you can only use its second and third effect once per turn each. Its first effect is its name is treated as Armed Dragon Level 5 while it's face up on the field or in the graveyard. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, send this card from the field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one level 7 or lower Armed Dragon monster from your hand or deck. Its third effect, if it's sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon monster's effect, you can add a level 5 or higher Wind Dragon monster from your deck to your hand. So what's really cool about this is he can actually, again, be used as a substitute for the original Armed Dragon Level 5, or you can run him in addition. He's able to go ahead and get your original Armed Dragon Level 7, or he can also go ahead and get the new one. The fact as well, if he's sent to the graveyard for the effect of a Dragon monster, you get to search out an Armed Dragon card, Armed Dragon Level 5 or higher Wind Dragon monster, so you can get any Wind Dragon you want. Now, this archetype isn't super splashable with other Dragon archetypes as of yet. However, given it is Wind Dragons, you could probably maybe see some synergy with Dragonities in some way. Heck, he can even search out Harpy's Pet Dragon if you really wanted to. I think this guy's really good, and I cannot believe how excited I am for these cards. Next up, we have Armed Dragon Level 7. Armed Dragon Level 7 and Armed Dragon Thunder Level 7 Both wind dragons that are level 7 with 2800 attack and 1000 defense. Their second and third effects can only be used once per turn each for Armed Dragon Thunder level 7. Armed Dragon level 7 cannot be normal summoned or set. It cannot be special summoned except by the effect of Armed Dragon level 5. You can send a monster from your hand to the graveyard to destroy all face-up monsters on your opponent's side of the field with an attack equal to or less than the attack of the sent monster. Armed Dragon Thunder level 7's effect is you can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, send this card from the field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one level 10 or lower Armed Dragon monster from your hand or deck. This card is sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon monster's effect. You can add one Armed Dragon card from your deck to your hand. Now, not only is this able to immediately get you into one of the 3 Armed Dragon level 10 monsters, and yes, there are 3 Armed Dragon level 10s now. Also, as far as, it doesn't say ignoring its summoning conditions, so I don't know if that's going to be changed a little bit. But being able to search out any Armed Dragon card is great. The one downside I do see about these new monsters is that you are discarding a lot of hand, but you are playing dragons, and dragons do normally have a decent way of drawing a bunch of cards. But obviously, this guy, I cannot. This is a huge improvement over this. Like, this was always a huge brick, but this is definitely nice to actually have a decent Armed Dragon level 7. We continue on to Armed Dragon level 10, Chazz's original boss monster that he barely summoned in the anime, and we have 2 brand new Armed Dragon level 10s. All of these are level 10 dragons with 3000 attack and 2000 defense. Armed Dragon level 10 and Armed Dragon Thunder level 10 are both winds, and Armed Dragon White level 10 White is a light monster. Armed Dragon level 10 cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned. Cannot be special summoned except by attributing an Armed Dragon level 7 on your side of the field. You can send a card from your hand to the graveyard to destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. Now, it says you must tribute an Armed Dragon level 7, and of course, Armed Dragon Thunder level 7 does actually count as Armed Dragon level 7. Armed Dragon Thunder, which you can see is on the pack artwork, is actually doing the pose of Chazz Princeton, aka Monjomi Thunder, from the anime, really pumping up the flavor. Now, the flavor of this archetype really comes through in Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. And let's take a look at what he does. He can apply one of the following effects to this card according to this card's attack. If it was special summoned by an Armed Dragon monster's effect. If you have 1 or more, this card is treated as Armed Dragon level 10. 10 or more cannot change control. 100 or more cannot be destroyed by battle. 1000 or more, once per turn during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can send a card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one other card on the field, destroy it, and if you do, this gains 1000 attack. If it's 10,000 or more, once per turn, you can destroy all other cards out on the field. Now, if you've noticed, it says 110, 100, 1000, 10,000, which is related to Chazz's specific chant in the Japanese version of the anime. Now, I don't know how they're going to change that up for the English version. Are they actually going to call this card Armed Dragon Chazz it up? I mean, that would be incredibly awesome if that was the case. I don't think that's going to happen. The card effect, the translation is a little weird. So you play 1 or more of the following effects according to this card's attack. So if it has more attack, the more attack it has, the more abilities it's going to do. So obviously getting 10,000 attack on this thing is probably going to be a little bit difficult by its own effect. Hopefully some of the spells and traps that we're going to take a look at are able to do this. But I love the flavor on this card. A boss monster that essentially... it reminds me of Ancient Gear Golem Mechanized Melee. Chazz finally has a boss monster that matches his catchphrase. I love this card. Everything about this card I absolutely love. And the other card we have is Armed Dragon level 10 White. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned by its own effect, and you can only use his first effect once per turn. You can banish Armed Dragon monster or monsters from your hand, from your field or graveyard with a total level of 10. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, you can add 1 white veil from your deck to your hand. Its second effect says you take no effect damage, and at the third effect at the start of this turn, when this card attacks, you can destroy other cards out on the field. Now, this is another absolutely fantastic card. Not only that, it actually searches out White Veil, which is the card that actually created this when Chazz used it with his Armed Dragon in the anime. So take a quick refresher of White Veil. It's an equipped spell. It says when the equipped monster battles, your opponent cannot activate any spell or traps until the end of the damage step. When the attack is declared involving the equipped monster, face-up spell and traps your opponent controls have their effects negated until the end of the damage step, even if this leaves the field. When the equipped monster destroys your opponent's monster by battle, you can destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent opponent controls. When this face-up card in a player's spell trap zone leaves the field, you take 3,000 damage. Being able to directly search this out by making this, and this thing isn't too difficult to make. I think you have to make exactly level 10, but this is a fantastic boss monster. Obviously, this is the boss monster you want to summon. We all know in our heart we want to summon Armed Dragon Thunder level 10, so we can do the Monjome Thunder chant. But of course, if we're going for the more logical play, we are going to make this, and heck, because of the way the Armed Dragon level 7 does count as Armed Dragon level 7, you can summon this out. You can still run this at 1 copy if you want to, but you don't have to. And of course, this doesn't actually have a specific summoning condition, so you easily could just bring this out from the graveyard. You could mill it like Foolish Burial and Monster Reborn it. Really cool stuff here, guys. I cannot wait to get my hands on this archetype. But we're not done! Now we have spells and traps. We don't just get monsters, we get a bunch of spells and traps. And of course, again, I am super excited to talk about all these cards. So we're going to start things off with our normal spell card, which is Armed Dragon Blitz. It's a quick play spell that it's a normal spell that reads, you can only activate one card, this card, hard once per turn. You cannot special summon monsters during the turn you activate this card, except dragon monsters. Target one armed dragon monster you control, take one monster with the same name from your deck or graveyard, and either add it to your hand or special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions. If you special summoned the monster, it cannot attack directly. Wow. That's insane. This is so cool because you can actually use this to bring out your bigger Armed Dragon monsters. So if you actually have the new versions of the Armed Dragons out on the field, you can actually use this card to go and grab the OG ones, like Armed Dragon level 7 and Armed Dragon level 10, for example, and just play them out on the field, ignoring their summoning conditions. That's actually really cool. Now, this doesn't obviously give you too much synergy with Dark Armed Dragon. However, if you do have a Dark Armed Dragon out on the field somehow, and you do play this card, you could probably go get a second Dark Armed Dragon if you wanted to. I'm pretty sure there's some heavy restrictions on Dark Armed Dragon, but hey, that's definitely something you can do. You can also use it for cards like your Metaphys Armed Dragon as well, as they do have the same name, and they are Armed Dragon monsters, so very cool there. Next up, we have a continuous spell called Armed Dragon Lightning. Armed Dragon Lightning is a continuous spell that can only be used you can use its effect hard once per turn, its first effect. You can target one Armed Dragon monster you control and activate one of these effects. It gains 100 attack times its level. Now, this card already will automatically activate the effect of your Armed Dragon Thunder level 10, getting it up to 10,000. I cannot get past the awesomeness of this card. This 100%, this is when you do the chant. You do the chant with this card, and then you have this on the field, and then you get kicked out of locals for being really, really annoying and disruptive. But you've got to do it at least once when you're playing this archetype. You are playing Chazz. This is Chazz through and through. I cannot wait to get my hands on this stuff. Its second effect is if an Armed Dragon monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can send it to the graveyard instead. It's a card that pumps up your Armed Dragons. It's a card that protects your Armed Dragons. Absolutely fantastic card. Our next spell that we're going to take a look at is a quick play spell. The quick play spell is Armed Dragon Flash. It can only be activated as a hard once per turn, but we can special summon a level 3 Armed Dragon monster from our deck in defense mode. Now, this, of course, being a quick play, is useful in both the Armed Dragon Catapult Cannon deck as well as this new Armed Dragon deck, because it's a far more consistent way to get out your Armed Dragon level 3 in your standby phase before it levels up, as opposed to Ogre Match. But Ogre Match is still a really good card in specific circumstances because you can discard Ogre Match and get extra plus. But for a pure Armed Dragon deck, this card is really good, especially because now our Armed Dragon level 3 is a monster that we actually want to see out on the field, as opposed to the original Armed Dragon level 3, which we don't necessarily want to see. The final card that got revealed is a normal trap called Armed Dragon Thunderbolt. It's a normal trap that can earn its first and second effect used hard once per turn, and only once that turn. So target one Armed Dragon monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack for each Armed Dragon monster in your graveyard with a different name with an equal or lower level to that monster. But all battle damage that monster inflicts to your opponent becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. You can banish it from your graveyard, then target an Armed Dragon spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. This would probably be a decent 1 or a 2 of. I don't particularly see this at 3. It can help your big Armed Dragon speed over things if you need to, because your boss monsters do have 3k attack, and you're going to have a lot of different monsters in your graveyard with different names. Now, of course, all the level 7 or below retrains do count as their original counterparts' names while in the field and in the graveyard. We may see some more support relating to that further on in the set. But that is it, guys, for the new Chazz Princeton Armed Dragon support. I am so excited to get my hands on this stuff. I've loved Chazz Princeton for a really long time. Obviously, if you haven't checked it out, the Chazz Princeton character deck is up here on the channel from the second Duelist pack that came out, the second Legendary Duelist that came out. I cannot wait to play this. Are you guys excited about this as well? Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. I don't think it's going to have any real competitive impact. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But I think for a real nostalgic anime-themed archetype, I think they've done a really decent job of making Armed Dragons playable, especially trying to honor the original members of the archetype by, well, still including them in the archetype and saying, you know, you don't have to completely omit them. There is benefit. There is clearly, based on what we've seen from these cards, there is definitely benefit to running the original versions. But you probably won't run them. You're really limited on deck space. I think this archetype is absolutely going to be a blast to have a play with, messing around. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you do like the video, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you're here, you've watched to the end, I really do appreciate it. I'm trying to reach 400 subs by the end of the year. If you'd love to help me out with that, I really would appreciate it. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you for my next video.